Welcome to another episode of the Tobago House of Assembly's Post-Executive Council Media Briefing. This week, the Honorable Chief Secretary Orville London addresses the media.
Let me first send out best wishes to the island's young people on the reopening of the new school term, in fact, the new academic year. And I was relieved that there was a relatively smooth opening, and I expect that things will continue to go smoothly throughout the rest of this term. And of course, there is some good news that the expansion at the Bishop's High School has started and is due to be completed in a couple of months. The Secretary of Education has advised me that evaluation of tenders for the expansion to a number of schools would have been completed on Monday, and work on those schools should start in the shortest possible time. The schools down for expansion are Hope Anglican, Lambo Anglican, Signal Hill Government, Patience Hill Government, and Wim Anglican schools. But I want to just put all of this in perspective, because even before these exercises are completed, we in Tobago must be aware that we have some of the best school plans in the country. Our staff-student ratio is also among the best in the country. The quality of our furniture and equipment compares favorably with any division in the country. And our percentage of trained teachers, the percentage of trained teachers in our schools is also among the highest in the country. That places a responsibility on all of us, the assembly, the division, the teachers, the members of the parent-teachers associations, the children, to ensure that our performance is in sync with the quality of the environment, the school environment, or the learning environment which we have nurtured over the years. Because we must accept the fact, and I can bear testimony to that, that over the years, the learning environment in Tobago has been significantly enhanced. And therefore, we have got to do all that is necessary to ensure that the performances coming out of this environment are in keeping with the quality of the environment. A word on the budgetary process. On Wednesday, next Wednesday, the Secretary of Finance, the Chief Administrator, the Administrator of Finance, and myself will be journeying to Trinidad for annual pre-budget discussions with the Minister of Finance. The meeting is scheduled for 1 in the afternoon at the office of the Ministry of Finance in Port of Spain. Of course, we expect that it would be a discussion at which we would be brought up to date on the present financial situation in the country, and we would be able to treat with our requests with respect to the piece of the pie, or the pie that is going to be available to us in Trinidad and Tobago. I am not aware of what the result will be, obviously, but we will make the strongest case possible for the people of Tobago, bearing in mind, of course, that we are living in straitened circumstances, and there will have to be sacrifices, and we in Tobago will not be immune from the kind of challenges which the country would face in fiscal 2017. I have been informed by the Secretary of Health and Social Services that the vast majority of the contract officers in the TRHA have been paid their arrears. The categories that are outstanding at present, based on the information given this morning, would be former employees and some clinicians. So I must commend the TRHA for being able to effect those payments quite speedily. I must indicate, however, that this is borrowed money. This money was taken from our overdraft facilities, and one of the areas where we expect to get some closure is the refunding of those monies to the Tobago House of Assembly. Bearing in mind the practice is that arrears, because they have not been catered for in the initial allocation, are normally given back to the division, or in most cases given in advance. Because of the urgency of this situation, the Tobago House of Assembly was forced to use its overdraft facilities, which is something that we do only in dire circumstances, and therefore we will expect this negotiation to be successful. As you're aware, this whole process for the review of the Tobago House of Assembly Act 40 of 1996 has been going on for quite some time. And we are about to bring closure to our phase of that particular process. We have been involved over the last 3 or 4 months with consultation with various sectors in the society. We met with the lawyers, we met with activists, we met with community groups and organizations, and then we sent the results of those negotiations to the senior counsellor and the senior counsel Gilbert Peterson, and attorney at law Miss Melville, and they would have provided us with a draft which the forum discussed earlier this week, and then further recommendations were made. We should be getting the final draft from the State Council on Tuesday the 20th of September. We will meet to discuss it as a forum on Thursday the 22nd of September. We are expecting to host a public consultation at a venue to be announced on Sunday the 2nd of October. And based on that, the draft will be finalized, and we are expecting that the bill will be debated at a special sitting of the House on the October the 13th, Thursday the 13th of October, so that we can submit the bill to the Cabinet no later than Monday the 17th of October. So that is the schedule which we hoping to meet. Of course, there might be some unforeseen circumstances, but barring those unforeseen circumstances, we're going to try to meet those schedules. The traffic lights at Shervan installation has been completed, and the commissioning would take place next Tuesday, the 13th of September at 10:30 in the morning. I think we all are aware of the change and the ease with which that would bring to motorists and other users, and especially as we expect that within the next 3 months or so that we would start occupation of the mill shelf or the building at the Shervan Road Junction, and we're going to have a couple hundred employees there, and that will of course increase the traffic flow. So that I think it is coming at a most opportune time that we actually going to have those traffic lights. I know there are people who have been suggesting that we should have a roundabout. I found it quite interesting when one remembers how roundabouts were dealt with in those early years. But I think the Secretary of Infrastructure will have given various reasons why it was thought prudent to have traffic lights instead of a roundabout at this point in time. The cruise ship season starts in a couple months, and I was very heartened to get information from the Division of Infrastructure, or the Secretary of Infrastructure, sorry, that he has been in contact with the Transport Commissioner with respect to maxi taxi rights. Now, as you're aware, one of the big issues that we've had is the whole question of not having enough maxi taxis in order to get those visitors off the dock and to the various destinations in as efficient and as professional a manner as possible. And it was simply because we just did not have enough maxi taxis. And he is confident that the Transport Commissioner, who is now saying that he is looking at the route requirements, should be able to submit a report to the Minister within the next couple of weeks, and hopefully it will go to Cabinet, and within a month or so, hopefully we will get the maxi taxi rights. And finally, just this morning, I spoke to the Assistant Commissioner with responsibility for the Tobago Division with respect to the whole issue of illegal vending. I think all of us are aware that it has escalated again. It goes in waves. And I don't want a situation where it becomes totally untenable if we have the Christmas season coming on and more vendors come onto the streets. So I have recommended, and he has agreed, that we need swift and urgent action. But I think we also need consistent action because, it goes, as I said, in waves or in cycles. And the ECP has given his commitment that he will take appropriate action and continue taking appropriate action so as to ensure that our streets will be kept free of illegal vendors. And something that people don't accept is that illegal vending makes life difficult for those persons who have to pay, in many cases, significantly high rates or high rentals in order to conduct their business. Because if you can buy something in the street where you don't have to go and park and so on, then there's no need for you to go through all that trouble. And the fact that they don't have to pay any overheads, there's significant advantages, so that it is not just simply a matter of the streets being cluttered. There is also the challenge to those legal businesses which are sometimes seriously undermined by the presence of these illegal vendors.
In terms of the one-year anniversary of the PNM Empower, what's your view? Is there room for improvement? Are you satisfied? Are you dissatisfied?
Well, as usual, I like to put things in context. And I think we have to understand the context and the circumstances under which this present government had to operate. And they're operating in a situation where Trinidad and Tobago is not just in recovery mode. Trinidad and Tobago is in survival mode. And I think the first order of business that this government had on its hands when it recognized the state of the economy and the state of Trinidad and Tobago is to ensure that we survive. And normally when you're in survival mode, you don't see any evidence or too much evidence of growth because you're just about surviving. And therefore, I think the government has to be complimented for ensuring that after a year that we are moving out of survival into recovery mode. And I think the signals that we're getting from the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister give me a level of comfort that even if the road ahead will continue to be difficult, that because we were able to manage the first year, that the chances of full recovery have in fact improved. So I will give the government credit for taking us out of survival mode into full recovery mode. I also want to suspect that one of the challenges which the government had is to have the kind of communication that would ensure buy-in from various sectors of the public. I am not certain that very many of us understood or appreciate the seriousness of the challenges that we faced and the very, very difficult situation in which this country had been placed, and I suspect in some cases quite deliberately, with the mountain of debt and the way in which we were placed, where the decision makers at a particular point in time knew that the level of debt which they were taking on just was not sustainable, and yet they continued putting more debt on that. And it is in that context that I am heartened by what has been achieved. Obviously, as in any case, in any situation where you're under pressure, with 2020 vision, there might have been things that could have been done differently. But I think that the government did act with a certain degree of professionalism, some level of sensitivity, because I think the things they could have done that would have been even harsher on the population. But I think all in all, I will give them credit.
Okay. And what grade will you give? A, B, C, D?
As a teacher, as an educator, I don't give grades like that. I make my evaluation, and somebody else can put in the grade.
How would you compare the relationship with central government now as opposed to previous to this new administration?
Well, the various levels of communication. As you know, under the previous administration, there were challenges. There were challenges at various levels. There were ministers in the previous administration with whom I had excellent relationships. There were ministers with whom the relationships were not as good. But I think basically at this point in time, for obvious reasons, there is a more collegial relationship where we're able to discuss any issue, formally, informally, and we don't always agree, but the point about it is that we have a common purpose. And even though we don't agree on a particular issue, we could eventually, after discussion and in an environment of mutual respect, be in a position where we normally would come to some mutually acceptable resolution.
Okay. Are you satisfied that central government has been treating with Tobago's needs with the sensitivity and with the prudence that you had hoped for?
Yes. As I said, nothing is perfect. You know, there would be incidents which, you know, you would want to have a conversation, and conversations do take place. You're talking about human beings, individuals, so there would be situations, you know, where the interaction is not perfect. But what I'm saying is that the environment is one in which, you know, persons want things to get done. They want to have a good relationship. And once you're in that environment, even though there's a little hiccup here and there, it is not a situation which cannot be managed.
You would have stated that the staff-student ratio in Tobago is good at this time. However, there were reports at Bishop's High School that there's a situation where there seems to be a shortage of teachers. Are you aware of this situation?
Yes, in fact, immediately I heard it, I called the secretary, and I spoke to him about it today. He said it is being investigated as to what exactly is the reason. Is it, you know, some disconnect between the school and the administration? Is it that you can't source the teacher? Because what he did tell me is that there are certain subject areas in which it is difficult to source staff. But when I listened to the list of subjects coming from I think was the vice president of the PTA, many of them were not subjects where you're likely to have difficulty in finding staff. So it is being investigated because it's something that we obviously have to take very seriously. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to get a report from him by the end of this week. But I'm aware of it, and it is being investigated.
Also, some months ago, you would have outlined some enhancement initiatives that you all would have been undertaking in Scarborough. What is going on at this time with the underground ducting? You spoke about the authority that is supposed to be set up. What is going on at this time?
Well, I know there's some funding issues. What I would like to do is to speak to the chief administrator who is responsible for all of those, and I'm certain that I'll be able to give you an update. Either ask whoever comes next week to provide you with that information, or you can get the information if you give me a couple of days. Maybe by Monday of next week I can get that information for you. But I don't know what the situation is with respect to the details. What I know is that we were having some funding challenges in the office of the Chief Secretary, and that might have also contributed. But as to exactly what has been done, I'm not certain.
Thank you for staying with us for the Tobago House of Assembly's Post-Executive Council Media Briefing for the week ending 10th September 2016.
Hey, I'm a maxi taxi operator and tourism is all our thing.
I am in housekeeping and tourism is all our thing.
I'm a tour guide. Tourism is all our thing.
And we all
benefit
from tourism.
Escape this sinful level, and I need strength to fight the devil. Sometimes when things happen, it seems like me done lost the battle. Why should I want to lose my soul after you made such a sacrifice? Let the Holy Spirit take control, yeah, of my life. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will sin no more. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will overcome. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will sin no more. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will overcome. You see, I'm not the man that I used to be, but I'm still not the man I'm supposed to be. Oh, Lord, draw close to me, yeah. Help me to get close to thee. Oh, Lord, you know the circumstance. Me need the grace, now please stand up strong. For you overcome temptation, show my strength and my salvation. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will sin no more. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will overcome. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will sin no more. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will overcome. Oh Lord, please deliver me from all those sinful memories. Oh Lord, I need the victory over the old man that I used to be. Oh Lord, I pray earnestly. Only your grace can. Only your grace can. Me can't do it by me own. So give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will sin no more. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will overcome. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will sin no more. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will overcome. You see, I'm not the man that I used to be, but I'm still not the man I'm supposed to be. Oh, Lord, draw close to me, yeah. Help me to get close to thee, oh. Lord, you know the circumstance. Me need the grace, now please stand up strong. For you overcome temptation, show my strength and my salvation. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will sin no more. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will overcome. Give me some strength, Lord, I will sin no more. Give me some strength, Lord, 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 that I will overcome. Give me some. Give me some, give me some. Give me some, give me some.